He's in the text out now.
Yeah, I'm going. I was just trying to get the map up first. I was trying to bring up other stuff so I
Okay.
could like see everything all at once.
All right. Well, I'm live now. So,
Okay.
but
Yep.
all right. Hell Trace, Hell Stalkers. We are here in the Hell Palace right now. Got the live stream up and going. So we're going to talk about these storms now moving through. Just dropped golf ball size hail in Suffolk, Virginia. Now on its way into Norfolk over the next 15 to 20, maybe 30 minutes. We've actually got a second severe thunderstorm now back here to the west. No warning on this one yet, but this one's definitely severe, producing some quarter size hail. And we've got other storms back here to the south and west, and we're going to talk about all of these and where they're headed and how big the hail is. As always, we've got our chat live feed up and going. I'll be periodically checking over to take a look at that. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to pop those in the chat room there, and we'll try to answer those as we go through. So, all right, so let's take a look at it here. So let's start out here with the imminent solution of what we've got going on here with the big storm right now moving through Suffolk. So we're going to switch radars here. Let's see here if we can get this here to pop up here, all of my stuff here. So let's go ahead and take a look here. And here we go. So really the storm kind of right now going through a cycling phase. It does have some pretty strong rotation with it. But you can see the different inflow bands here, and some of these inflow bands right now kind of fighting over where they want to drop the hail. But right back here, southwest side, really small hail pocket there. That's some big time hail falling right now, so that's not going to last real long. And if we take off here some of the color off of the map here, you can see it's right over here. So this is overland right before it moves out here into no man's land. But yeah, just right over here, just south of US 58 and in Suffolk, we're definitely getting some golf ball size hail in that area right now. Now the hail marker not doing this storm a whole lot of justice right now. If we look at the MEHS here, let's go ahead and turn that on. MEHS stands for maximum expected hail size. But let's turn that on just to give you an idea of what that storm it says it's producing. So it's got a little band here of it's calling it about penny size or dime size hail that's falling through here now. If we switch back to what we like to use to see the hail size, you can see right in here it's now moved out over, and so it's not over anything in particular, but it is producing still some golf ball size hail in this little pocket right in here. Just right in here, the little pinks and the dark reds right in this area here, just to the east of Suffolk. let's back the radar up and let's take a look at it as it moves through Suffolk. We came on here just a tad late after the storm had already started kind of pushing through the city. And what we like to look for, this is the correlation coefficient. This is what we like to watch. Right in here, you can see the greens right in here. Just kind of watch those as they track into Suffolk. So we did have a lot brighter pinks. And if we look at a couple of different pans here, you can see some of the areas here picking up the hail. Look at this. So this is actually showing a lot of melting going on with this storm, but still producing a lot of big hail. So let's go ahead and just drive this thing forward here. And we're going to switch this back to our CC values. Watch the pockets of the greens and the blues, okay? That's your 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch, a couple of golf balls mixed in there, and they actually keep getting darker and darker. There's a really nice radar frame right in there. You can kind of follow our red square here, right in the center point. That's going to allow you to see what's happening on either side of your map, so that way you know exactly what's going on as it applies to one side of the radar or the other. Okay, so the big hail falling, it's really kind of interesting, but it's falling right along with the pink here. It's a little bit bigger than the pink, so it's kind of going into Suffolk and then up here on the north side. And then it just continues to push across. Look at the darker colors here, the greens and the blues, they just get bigger and bigger, which is telling us that there's more and more large objects that are actually falling out of this storm. You can see, there it is. There's what we saw when we came on. So there's the frame there, again, with the golf ball. So they pretty much, for the most part, moved right across the city, producing golf ball size hail, and still trying to do so here. And now here we go. So now the feeder bands start to this storm has done this over and over again. This is about the third or fourth time that it's done it now, where the feeder bands kind of merge. The new updraft takes hold right here, the one on the south, the hook echo, the inflow notch, new updraft develops right here, and then all of a sudden the hail size begins to come up. So if we look at the MEHS, the maximum expected hail size, now we've got a lot of blues in here. So notice that. Now this big hail is not, this hail right here in this core is not actually falling to the ground yet. But you can see, look what's right up here. It's right up the road here. Lots and lots and lots of population. There's tons of population here. Chesapeake, Plymouth, Portsmouth, Norfolk, Virginia Beach. It's moving into this area as we speak. Okay, so this is big hail, or it's turning into big hail, and has a potential to be a pretty nasty hailstorm here as we move into the Norfolk area. So this is one you're going to want, if you're on our live feed right now, you're going to want to watch this because it's moving in the next 10 minutes or so. You're going to want to watch this as it moves in. Let's zoom out here and take a wider angle. You can see now they've issued warnings on the storms that we told you just a minute ago were severe. We now have warnings on those. But let's look at the loop here of our storm here as it develops. You can see it develops back here right on the Virginia-North Carolina line. It's basically been moving off to the east-northeast very consistently, cycling up and down, producing very large hail in the meantime. So it's already hit Franklin. It's also hit Suffolk now, and now it's got its eyes on Virginia Beach and Norfolk and Chesapeake and Portsmouth. So moving in that general direction as we speak. We've got everything that you've seen. So when this storm developed right back here in North Carolina, here it goes. Everything you see, it's all mapped already online. It's ready to go. If you're a subscriber, jump on there. It's there waiting for you, okay? 2 new storms going up down here in Virginia and North Carolina. These are severe as well, producing some quarter-size hail now. We've got the line. This is the game ender. So as soon as this moves through, game over. No more hail. There might be some high wind and some pea-size hail. Initially, when this went up, it did produce some golf ball-size hail. But for the most part, we're looking at right now these isolated storms out ahead of this line are the ones that are producing the large hail. Okay, so let's go back over here now to our high-res radar. And again, so we can still see here. Let's go ahead and push this forward a couple of frames here. So we've gotten a couple new frames here that have come in. Still see all the different banding features in this actual supercell with the hook echo right in here. Let's look at the rotation. Let's see. Yeah, some really nice rotation, actually. Look at this. Right here. That's where your potential tornado. I would not be shocked if there's not a tornado on the ground with this right now. This storm has some pretty serious rotation. You can see everything wrapping around. This rotation is going to help to keep the hail size up. So we're going to look at the MEHS. Let's look at the percent chance of severe hail. Severe hail being inch or larger. But let's see what the radar is actually putting out. Here's a look at the output for that. So it's saying there's about a 70% chance here in some of the higher cores. Let's just go ahead and let's take a look at this, and I can tell you, yeah, right back here. So not where this is showing, but right back here, there's still some severe hail falling in this little pocket right here. This is the one that produced the golf ball size hail as it moved through Suffolk. But now our new core is developing, and there it goes. Look, now we can see the new core now beginning to fall to the ground. Okay, here we got some more big hail now developing up here to the north, stretching into the core here of this thunderstorm. There's a chance it might try to go through a little cycle period here, because we've got the rotation is actually trying to be occluded, or actually being sucked into the storm itself, and it's going to get sucked in and actually ejected out. We'll have a new rotation area that will develop to the south of the original one, and the storm will just continue to cycle. What is it that's actually keeping this storm going? Well, there's actually a warm front right now that's draped. Probably runs like this and then kind of buckles up and goes up in here into Norfolk. But temperatures to the south of the warm front in the mid 70s, temperatures to the north in the upper 50s and low 60s. And that boundary right there is causing a veer in the winds, and it's causing these thunderstorms to have an increased likelihood of producing severe hail, tornadoes, and high winds. So that's what we've been watching all day, and that's why we have a tornado watch that has been issued. And again, severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings have been issued, and we're seeing hail now up to the size of golf balls at different times. So this is going to go across the south side of Norfolk. So if you're familiar with it, you've got the I-64. I'm assuming that's probably you've got the 264 that runs through town. It's probably for the most part going to stay to the south of 264. It's running from 264 to the south right now, from I-264 to the south. And you've got your I-64 loop that drops around the south side of town. It's going to run along there and to the north and kind of just run right over the top of that area. So hail size is still trying to go up on radar here. So we're getting ready to see, I think, a big hail core that's going to develop right in here, just to the south of this big purple area. That's where I would expect that we see some larger hail begin to fall here. So we're just going to continue watching this here, and kind of see as things continue to develop in. We've got, again, a second storm now back here, really developing here. Nice hook, big hail. We've got a third storm now back here in North Carolina. This one is producing some really large hail as well. You can see the little pocket here of golf ball size hail now falling in North Carolina. We've got another pocket here of some significant hail, probably making a run at golf ball size hail, also right on the Virginia-North Carolina border. So this one's going to run south of Franklin and south of Suffolk, and is going to make a run into, right in here in the southern edge. I don't know if it'll hit a whole lot of stuff as far as population's concerned. It's going to be really close on that one. But we've got this guy. This is imminent now, moving right into the Norfolk, really the Chesapeake area, and to the south here. Let's go ahead and zoom on in here and see what we've got. So we've got, this is Highway 104. It's your 104 loop. You've also got 168. You can see kind of dissecting through this area right here. And you've got 168 moving across there. Let's see here. So just kind of taking a look here to see what kind of stuff we've actually got being pumped out right now. So we are sending out live alerts, and we've actually sent out one for Suffolk for golf ball size hail already. So if you're a subscriber, you've gotten that. I have no idea. Why?
Oh, because I'm like way behind now with my whole yellow stuff. Oh, now he's in the bathroom.
All right, so let's go back here to the west here. And so you can see we now have two dominant feeder bands really training into this supercell. Here comes the big hail now. Let's see, I wonder what the rotation looks like here. A potential tornado right in this area. So that's going to move onshore. Here's 17, and then here's 104 that runs right through. So right through this little triangle right here. That's where we're going to move onshore. Even some signs here. Let's see, is this a hail spike? No, that's a little shower out ahead of it. That's jumping into it. So the big hail right in here, you can see it right now. It's right there. That's where the biggest hail is falling currently. In this storm, we've got a second pocket of golf ball size hail trying to develop right back here, and it's gonna fill in the way that it looks. It's gonna fill right in, and we're gonna have golf ball size hail through this whole area. So we're looking at, this is at 58, this is I-264, and this is I-64. So right where 64 and 264 merge, we've got golf ball size hail falling as we speak. All right, so we're just waiting on frame by frame. Really, this thing is now moving in. It's hitting some populated area. We're seeing hail up to the size of golf balls now, moving into Chesapeake, and so we've got some big hail here. It's now beginning to happen. So this is we're going to see a bunch of reports filter in as it moves through the area. We've still got this storm back here to our south as well. This one continues to go to town back here in North Carolina, producing lots of big hail. Even some signs that these storms right in here near Emporia may be trying to go up in this line here. I'm not seeing a lot of big hail right now with those, but those will be worth watching as well. So yeah, it's a lot going on here right now as these storms continue to develop. New tornado warning now has been issued. So they've got ping pong ball size hail. We're thinking it's a little bit bigger. So we're going in the range of golf ball size hail. And then we've got radar indicated rotation. So spotters haven't seen a tornado, but I think it's probably hopscotched around a little bit. Definitely back over here, over some of this open land. There was a tornado for sure, I think, but probably lifted here. Still got our hail core right here. This is it. So it's actually staying a little bit to the north. It's trying to hold all of its hail up here to the north. So it's got the hail marker down here to the south. Let's look at that on the MEHS here, and see the biggest hail on radar is actually being shown down here south of I-264. But the bigger hail is actually to the north of 264, or I'm sorry, it's right on 264 to the north of 64. So radar showing it south of 64 right now. So I-64 showing the location where the big hail is from radar, but it's actually falling in a different location. Let's look at it on a 3D scan here. Let's see what we've got going on with that here. So here's a look at our 3D scan. You can see the embedded pieces of pink here. Let's get us a little bit more color here so we can kind of see what's going on in there. So there's a look at our core now, and so you can see kind of the tilt right there. That's what's causing the hail. So the marker's picking it up here, and it's falling out back here. So that's exactly what's going on. That's why the radar's picking up the hail way out to the south of the storm when it's actually falling out to the north. So again, biggest hail right now, falling right in here. New hail core been trying to develop here for a little while. We'll see if it can get going down here to the south. This is the updraft region of the storm, really being stretched out right now. Stretched out a lot, really, with kind of the structure of this storm here. Really see it kind of wrapping around and almost turning into just one line or one feeder band here, and then spinning in, and there it gets a little bit sloppier now. But let's take a look at it here. Let's see where the new frame shows. Okay, so notice some of the greens kind of go away a little bit here, but you can still see them right in here. So right in here, we've still got some color there. So that's where it all is. So the big hail right now in this pink area still, trying to develop. Oh, let's get that off of there. Okay, so big hail updating right into here now. Makes sense. You can kind of see, and actually, I think we already have some big hail falling. Even though we don't have the pink showing up in here, wouldn't be shocked if we're right in this area. We're definitely getting. I think we're getting probably making some runs at golf ball size hail right now. Just now redeveloping back on the I-264. That's where we thought it would initially go. It looks like it's going to try to develop down in that area. Let's look at this rotation here. It looks like still some pretty good rotation in here. It's not as tight as it was just a minute ago. Look at some of these other parameters that we like to look at here. Let's move this out here just a little bit. Let's look at this guy right in here. So I don't think it's set in stone that we're getting just giant hail with this. And looking at a couple of the different parameters, so right up in here we've got a pretty decent volume of hail falling. And then we've got signs showing the bigger hail. So right up in there, that's I-264 or I-64 right there. That's also U-13. It's just to the south of the county line there, where the county line kind of splits that area up. And so it's just to the south of there. That's where we're seeing some indications of actually bigger hail actually occurring right in here. So the radar echoes are not showing big hail. They're actually showing lower amounts of precip. More than likely, that's just because it's a majority of actually hail falling. So we're getting isolated chunks of large hail falling, and it's not producing a lot of rain, and so we're getting lower returns from the radar. Here now the radar updates, and this is classic looking supercell right in here. So you've got basically your return right in here. So this is your big hail corridor. So you've got I-64 and you've got U-17 basically right at the pinpoint of this storm, okay? You're still showing a potential for some of the larger hail to be falling up here to the north. This hail core just really doesn't want to go away, but the storm is trying to continue to develop this bigger hail core to the south. And if it can kind of structure itself just a little bit cleaner, I think we'll see the hail sizes really jump on this. So right now, probably 1.25 inch and a half, potentially up to golf ball size. Looks like we're actually sending out some text alerts now for golf ball size hail on this storm. So if you're a subscriber, you're getting alerted to the exact location of the hail in this storm as we speak. So let's see if we've gotten any reports here. Let's jump out to the wide angle here. Let's go ahead and pause this and see where we're at. All right, here we go. So again, we still have these are the three severe storms that we're definitely watching the most right now. Again, this one looks like it's trying to go through an intensification piece here. So we've got the larger hail now developing south side of Chesapeake. Then we've got these two storms back here to the west, south of Franklin, Virginia. We've got a second storm. Right now it's actually over, let's see here. So yeah, right over Allander, North Carolina. So this one's in North Carolina. Classic supercell with this storm right now, producing some big time hail, and then we've still got our storm up here to the north, just south of Norfolk, Virginia. So let's go ahead and back into the high res version here, so we can see if we've gotten any updates. There's one just like that, just as we say it. All right, so again, really keeping this hail core right up here to the north, just really staying together. Lower CC values right through there. Let's see, is that a... So it's kind of been ingesting this shower right here on the front flank of the storm. And so that's probably what's been kind of keeping it right on that verge of golf balls and not golf balls. So it's kind of right in between. These storms back here, look at this guy. Whew, this one is going to town. Some big hail now moving. It's going to move through probably, let's up here. It's going to move through, I don't know what the name of that town is, just north of Powellsville, though, in North Carolina, easily producing 2-inch, if not tennis ball size hail as we speak. That's some big time hail. Not a lot for that to move towards. And then we've got just south of Franklin. This one's producing probably right at golf ball size hail as we speak as well. Some new thunderstorms actually going up right back here to the west. So these are, let's see, there's Richmond up there. So just to the north of Cortland. Again, these storms back here to the west, not producing a lot of hail right now. A lot of P's, I would say, and some high gusty winds. But that's about it for that. So let's go ahead and jump on in here now and take a look here. All right, so here we are. So now we are again. Oh yeah, hail size. Really look at it, trying to ramp up now. So it just remember we just said just a few minutes ago, it was ingesting a shower. If it could go ahead and take that in, that there would be a chance that the hail size would go up. So now radar is showing that we have a big hail marker now developing on this storm. That means it's up in the cloud, so it isn't actually falling. So we're getting some 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, maybe an 1.75 inches. That's a golf ball, maybe a golf ball or two right up in here, just to the north of this is U13, and just to the west of U17, and just to the east or to the west, I should say, of I-464. So right in here, hail marker just went up again. So now we're at 2.25. And let's look at it. Let's look at this from the 3D angle here. Big hail up in the cloud right now as we speak. I'm going to go ahead and try to load our website here for you so I can kind of keep an eye on if you guys are asking any questions. If you got any questions, pump them in here. We're more than happy to chat with you about these big storms ongoing right now. All right, so here we go. So let's go ahead and take a look at it from a 3D angle here and see what this guy looks like here. It's going to have a big core. There it is right up in the top. We actually cut it off a little bit, so let's see if we can get all of it. There we go. All right, so here it is. Look, the tilt's still there. So we're still going to see that hail falling to the north of where the core shows it. You can see that the big hail floating aloft in this thunderstorm here. And let's actually let's get rid of this blue. It looks pretty, but that's not helping us actually analyze this storm a whole lot. So there you can see the tilt here with it right there. There's a classic view of that tilt. So the big hail that's being picked up on radar right now is right up in here. So we're looking at about 35,000 feet up in the air. It's really cold up there right now. And it's generating that large hail. Over the next 2 to 3 to 5 minutes, that's actually going to begin to fall. Now that could fall for a couple of minutes, or it could continue to generate that large hail and it'll fall for even longer. We've had a new frame actually just pop in here. So again, here we go. To analyze this frame here as it happens. So we've got, again, right in here right now, this is I-464 right here, just to the north of U13. So U13 running right along here, I-464 right here, and then back here to the west we have U17. So right in the middle, this is where the big hail's falling right now, just in this little pocket. It's not a very big pocket, and the big hail's trying to expand to the south, right down just to the south of U13, between U13 and I-64. Okay, so it's going to try to develop down here just to the south just a little bit. And again, the hail size really continuing and trying to go up as this storm continues to move now just south and southwest of Chesapeake. Okay, so the storm is just south and southwest of Chesapeake. That big hail that the radar is indicating will begin to fall out over probably on our next radar frame that updates. That's when I would expect to see that fall out. We'll see if that happens. I may hold it up just a little bit longer. But we're going to watch this here and see where it actually begins to fall out, because I wouldn't be shocked to see some 2-inch hail when it starts to fall out. We're going to see, what we should see is some of these greens begin to light up. We should also see some of the pinks in here begin to go up in size. If we look at the MEHS on here, this will actually update here. Let's take a look at that. So you can see all the greens in here and a little bit of yellow right there. Where the radar says the big hail is, and actually right now at this second it's pretty close on. So every now and then gets it right, and right now it seems to be doing so. So right in here is your big hail, kind of wrapping around the hook on this storm now. So you need to pull some of that around to the back side. Let's go back, take a look here. There it is, big hail right through here. So it's kind of hooking around right through here now. So so this is U13. Running right through here, so just along and to the north of that, it's running right over U460 and I-464. So right up and down in here, this is big hail. U13 is getting big hail back here to the west of 460 and 464. And we're also probably seeing some decent size hail all the way down, decent being up to golf ball size, all the way back to I-64. So all the way down to the south from I-64 up to 13, over to 460 and 464, right through here, and then it's moving in the general direction of State Highway 168, running through the Virginia area. Okay, so here we go. So again, just to the south of Chesapeake, continues to move and develop here, and we're getting some big hail for sure. There we go. There's our golf ball report back here. So yeah, that's not a surprise at all. This storm is actually stronger now than it was then. So so we're going to continue to see these golf ball, if not 2-inch reports come in from this storm. Look at our storm back here. This thing is just going to town. All down here all by itself, and now we've got a tornado warning for that one. Expect that to continue. That's going to move in the general direction of Elizabeth City. It's probably the biggest thing in its path. And we're going to see a bunch more hail reports come in with this one. This one continues to strengthen and intensify here. Look at the greens now coming in right down here to the south. This is where we said it would develop. Continues to stretch up here. All this pink, and even right out ahead of this pink through some of this. So you can see right in here even a little pocket of some bigger hail falling right through here. This would be U13. This would be I-64. So it's moving right through that area as we speak. Let's see if we can let me get some county numbers here. I'm going to see if I can update some roads for us. All right, so we're gonna jump over here to Facebook and do a little bit on Facebook for a minute, just to kind of mix things up. Big hail falling right now in the neighborhood of probably 2-inch in diameter, right here across just to the south of Chesapeake. Again, here's I-464, I-64. Right here where kind of all that intersection happens right in here. That's where the big hail's falling. and it's going to continue to fall in this area and move off to the east. In fact, if anything, it's trying to get bigger here. So we're going to continue to watch this as this really powerful thunderstorm, but we're going to talk about it over on Facebook for a little bit. And so if you want to jump over there and join us, we'd love to have you over there. More golf ball size hail reports now coming in for this storm in the Chesapeake area. So join us over on Facebook /Hail Trace, and we'll give you all the live feed there, and it's easier for you to chat and talk with us from that location.